Whenever we finish a project, we do a lot of soul searching. A lot of reference got kicked around. The Seven Samurai, the Magnificent Seven. We talked very early on about showing off a more human approach to Spartans.
I mean, we definitely focused on trying to go back to sort of the core of what made Halo CE, the Combat Evolved, the sort of phenomenon that it is.
I remember my first time playing Halo, and I was in that first level, and after winding through these technical corridors, fighting aliens, and then I step out into this world, and it just opens up in front of me, and it's beautiful and alien and huge. That was a sort of seminal moment for me, and I think that's part of what we want to capture in Reach.
Something that was core to the game at the beginning was that sense of wonder and exploration. We started with a series of events. We basically set out like, okay, from this date on Reach to this date, we built a military campaign.
We all had a desire to really flesh out the backstory of what happened prior to Master Chief and Cortana even entering the picture. We knew there were other Spartans, and it just seemed like such a rich area to tell a character-driven story with new characters.
We wanted this team to feel like a Delta Force type team that are usually a smaller number.
Why are we not seeing explosives residue?
This particular team, Noble Team, they've survived by staying together. You're Noble 6, you're a replacement for a Spartan that's died. You're experiencing this story, boots in the mud.
We looked at the story of Reach, and it was obviously a more intimate, character-driven story. We really needed the attention to real-world detail, trying to make these characters' faces really feel like believable.
We started everything over from scratch, came up with a whole new rig for how we animate faces and also how we approach like texturing them, modeling them, everything, and just put a lot more time. Difference about a couple million polygons.
We absolutely want Reach to tell a human story, and that's going to require us to invest significantly into higher fidelity models, much more open environments, larger numbers of AI than ever before in a Halo game.
To pull off the vision for what we had for this game, we ended up gutting almost every part of the engine, retooling things to make it run faster, to make it run better, it looked better.
We had to throw out all of our technical systems. We had to then throw out the content that went with it because that content didn't represent the new bar we were going for.
Copy that, on our way. Don't need command to tell me. Been on hers half my life.
Let's shoot it.
We've got a great team of guys, and they could take motion capture and they could make the poses way more dynamic, way more expressive. Those changes bring out the life, they bring out the style of our characters.
We had probably 4 times the amount of polygons to play with this time around, which gave us a lot more freedom and creativity in what we wanted to achieve.
When you look at total engineers that are actually putting code that are actually affecting this game, I mean, it's massive, 30 plus guys, it's crazy.
When you shoot a rock face, you'll see sparks, rock chips, dust. In Halo 3, we had a maximum of 100 colliding particles. In Halo Reach, we have thousands.
We've got much more customizable Spartans than we've ever had in the past.
The number of polygons we can draw at one time has skyrocketed. It's changed the way we build things up close as well as out far.
This is where Noble Team arrives, and then you're going to work your way down, all the way down these terraces.
Big open environments, epic skyboxes. These are things that are quintessential to Halo.
Like, we're building a planet that exists 500 years from now. We want to build spaces that you want to explore.
We want to put twice as many characters, vehicles, and weapons into that environment. That's going to require massive improvements to the way we handle our artificial intelligence in the game.
We now can put so many AI in an encounter that you can put 4 Spartans, the player, 8 Marines against 30-ish Covenant, and that's an actual serious challenge.
Bringing the elites back was something that was really a true joy for us because they're such an awesome character to fight.
What if the Spartans and the soldiers don't actually understand what the aliens are saying? What's that going to feel like? What if we can get back to having the aliens feel really alien and threatening? these people and this planet and this story deserve something new and different. Just a different underlying sense of tragedy, heroism. We're rebuilding everything from the ground up.
You have to walk this very fine balance. We want to add new things, but we don't want to rough up anybody's baby.
I mean, that's the whole thing about the crazy sausage that is Bungie's Halo Reach ODST universe, is that we've sort of developed this gameplay that every person sort of has the different things about it that they like, and I still think that we still struggle to figure out exactly what, like what can we add or remove without pissing off certain people in the population.
We looked at the Halo 3 assault rifle, and it really does feel kind of dated. It fit the tech then, but now we have all of these new polygons to play with.
We went to a lot of trouble to sort of ground the weapons and the vehicles more in this sort of more real, more gritty world. We refined a lot of the weapons to push them into their particular role, and that role is defined a lot by range and the range of combat that you're going to play. For instance, the DMR, which is a sort of medium to long range suppression marksman rifle.
It's going to be a sandbox game. It's not going to be a carefully scripted game where every movement of the AI is controlled by a mission designer. It's much broader than that. It allows the player to deal with encounters in their own specific way. There's definitely going to be offhand grenade throwing. There's definitely going to be vehicles. There's definitely going to be a large number of weapons that are incredibly powerful, incredibly accurate, that allow the player to feel like a badass.
Now, if you melee him in the back of the head, like you really mean it, you're holding down on the button, and you will launch into this more elaborate animation sequence.
It's going to be a very different campaign experience for people overall. We're doing stuff in the campaign that people absolutely won't expect from a Halo game.
Bigger battles.
Brand new cast of characters.
An incredibly ambitious game.
Every neuron in my head is firing with just reach, reach, reach. We knew from the beginning what the end was going to be.
This is the definitive Halo made by the people who created Halo.